Hey there, Internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of Trevor Trove Gaming, Sunday edition, so just kind of responding to the news of the week. I would say probably the biggest two stories that I can think of that come to mind immediately seem to have been kind of the nearly universal praise of God of War, more than a week before it launches. So that's pretty good. Seems like Sony Santa Monica and Sony PlayStation in general seem to know that they've got a pretty good game on their hands. I'm looking forward to hopping into that. And then one of the other big stories was a Jason Schreier piece over at Kotaku, where he kind of detailed and interviewed a lot of people involved with Mafia 3 and kind of what that studio has been up to and kind of all the shuffling and changes and starts and stops that it has been kind of facing since Mafia 3 launched back in 2016, including like pitches for Mafia 4 that haven't really panned out and all that kind of stuff. But one of the nuggets of his interview was that he discovered or has kind of confirmed that there's a team working on an unannounced Bioshock game. So that's, of course, exciting. Of course, 2K maintains the rights for that series, even though Irrational is no longer kind of what it once was after they restructured following Bioshock Infinite. But 2K, it makes sense that they would be giving the IP to a new studio or an existing studio. It sounds like it is a secret new studio that was formed to kind of work on that. And it just got me kind of like thinking just of like random oddball pitches of what a new Bioshock game could be. I was texting my friend Logan Wilkinson, who I do West Winging It with, the other day, and kind of softball pitched like, what if a new Bioshock game ends up being the modern political allegory that everybody was maybe hoping Far Cry 5 would be. You maybe set it in a near future where we have started to colonize the moon. We've got like stations up there that can be kind of a la Rapture-esque, and so like the pitch from there just kind of turns into okay, there's a lighthouse station that basically gets pods from Earth up to the moon. That's can kind of be how your game starts out. You're some guy kind of going to investigate something. We've lost communication with the moon base. I think I named it Discovery, I think, in my pitch to Discovery or Prosperity, something like that. Something inspirational sounding in my one-line pitch to Logan. But you go into the lighthouse station, it sends you up into space, and you kind of land on. You have to figure out what's going on. But then maybe there is some like insurrection or something that happens kind of behind you that takes out the lighthouse station to kind of justify why nobody else joins you on this, and why you potentially lose communication with the Earth base. You'd have like genetic modification going on up there, so you have like your whatever version of the plasmids that becomes, and people have just kind of gone mad and power hungry and whatnot up there, and there was maybe an insurrection or something like that on the moon base that you are trying to get to the bottom of. You could maybe be ambitious and throw in some links to the other games, so that that we have this existing in the same universe as Rapture and Columbia. You could have kind of Big Daddies up there for security or something like that. You could have Elizabeth tears from Bioshock Infinite, and maybe even Elizabeth kind of jumps through a tear, brings Booker DeWitt with her in some kind of alternate timeline reality to get up there, or Comstock is up there or something like that. And Andrew Ryan could make an appearance, whatever, or Fontaine. So you could tie it into all those other things, where we've got kind of people doing genetic research and modification in order to help Earth back home because resources are scarce and limited, and so our future hopes lie in with this kind of moon base and new Earth ideas or something like that. And it could, you could even have you could play with the idea that the denizens of this new Earth base don't even know that something is going on, that there are issues back home. They can kind of be fed, state-sponsored communication or something like that, and you can have kind of like a fake news allegory or something like that going on with that whole subplot. So that's just kind of like some thoughts on what a potential Bioshock could be. I'm interested in whatever they end up coming out with, because I do enjoy that series. It's one of my rare kind of leaps into what could be considered more of a horror-esque genre. I typically try to stay away from those, but the story and combat of them is so fun and engaging that I enjoyed Bioshock 1, even 2, and Infinite. So I look forward to seeing whatever 2K comes up with for Bioshock 3 or Bioshock Next or whatever that is. I hope it's good, and I hope we hear from that officially soon. Maybe at E3 or something like that. So those are my thoughts on kind of this week in gaming news. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.